Hello there, everybody. And today for Batman the Animated Series and Batman Day, here's my review of Cat Scratch Fever. So, this is the return of Catwoman. We haven't seen an episode of Catwoman in a little while, but last time she was on the run against, I think her name is Red Claw. But this time, Catwoman's given another chance to join society as she's put on probation from her crimes, but if she commits another crime, she's going to be put back in prison for all her theft crimes. And Selina is relieved by this until she notices her cat has gone missing, and when she decides to go look, it turns out a bunch of cats are being kidnapped by various gang members, and it leads to Catwoman to go on a quest to stop this gang from kidnapping various animals and experimenting on them with the help of Batman, of course. But what really worked about this episode for me is I like Catwoman's compassion towards animals. This episode kind of raises awareness of the way animals are treated. The ones that are it's like a reflection of harmful rhetoric towards animals being experimented on and putting a stop to it. And I just like how Catwoman does care for her cat, that she goes out of her way to find her cat, and when she bumps into various people, they just don't know where the cat is until she notices a group of cat the dog catchers, whatever you want to call them, or the cat catchers, animal control, and it turns out they're the gang members that are trying to kidnap these various animals. And once Catwoman has a fight with one of the gang members, she ends up getting rescued by Batman, but Catwoman ends up getting arrested again by Renee Montoya, and with the help of Bruce and Alfred, they're able to bail Selina out, but she decides to go visit wherever this warehouse is where the cat scratchers are, gang members, and I forget how she found them, but I think she was able to find some evidence of it. But Batman ends up investigating what's going on, of course. But once Selina does arrive at the warehouse, she discovers that there are a whole bunch of cats and dogs who are all having rabid reactions, and we don't know what the cure is for these animals, but Catwoman does find her cat, and of course, the cat ends up scratching her, biting her, and it causes Catwoman to hallucinate when trying to escape, and she even has to take her mask off, and this is I think the first time we see Catwoman without her mask. But when Batman does rescue her, he ends up taking her to a small room where she can heal up. But Batman ends up finding the various animals, but he ends up getting jumped by one of them, and we get this wild scene where Batman fights a giant dog who has rabies. But Batman ends up finding the criminals behind this, and Catwoman ends up fighting through the various treatments she got injected with. But I think Batman is able to find a cure for her, and the two are able to take down the criminals. And the episode does end with Catwoman getting Matif back. Her cat... Wait, no. Cat Isis. My bad. I got the names mixed up. But we also saw Catwoman's assistant from the first Catwoman episode. The Cat and Claw. It was nice to see Matif again. I thought this was her only episode she appeared in. Those two episodes. But nah, she appeared again in this episode. But Catwoman is relieved to see Isis again, and I assume Batman was able to help the other animals and put all his funding into saving these animals. But yeah, this episode does end on a good note with Batman saving Isis from the reaction she had with the getting drugged to deaths. But yeah, this episode was definitely really good. It was definitely a good Catwoman episode. That I liked how it was more centered on Selina, and Selina redeeming herself, then going to her criminal ways. But I think she does go back to her criminal ways. in like the new Batman Adventures, where I guess Selena wanted to go back to it. But that's a different story since we got a lot more episodes to go. But I think there is another Catwoman episode. I'd definitely be excited to talk about it. I think I give this episode probably a 7 out of 10. It was definitely a fun one for sure. I even like the snow environment in this episode. But the next episode, I think, is centered on Hugo Strange. So, yeah. And by the way, be on the lookout for my Batman 89 review. I feel like it's finally time to talk about one of the live-action Batman movies. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.